And thanks to you at home for joining us this hour. Really, really happy to have you here. All right, I have some stuff to show you guys. Less than 2 weeks ago, a week ago Wednesday, so that was January 21st, the Department of Homeland Security wrote to Hanover County, Virginia. Hanover County, Virginia is just outside Richmond, Virginia. It's Republican territory. Trump beat Kamala Harris in Hanover County by 26 points, just for context in terms of the local politics there. But on the 21st of January, Homeland Security sends a letter to Hanover County saying, we are going to build a Trump prison camp in Hanover County, specifically in Ashland, Virginia. We, Homeland Security, are going to build an ICE prison camp here. Just wanted to let you know. That letter was sent to the county Wednesday, a week and a half ago. People locally learn about that 2 days later, last Friday, with reports like this in the local press. The Trump administration wants to build one of their camps, wants to build a prison camp for immigrants in a Hanover County warehouse. Specifically, they want to build it out on the site of a former cattle farm in Hanover County. In total, it's about 15 miles north of Richmond. Right now, there is a 500,000 square foot warehouse on that site that ICE wants to use to convert into a prison camp. That warehouse was built by a company owned by a Canadian billionaire, a guy based in Vancouver, British Columbia. His company is apparently going to sell that warehouse in Virginia to ICE so ICE can build a prison camp there. So that news comes to the county on Wednesday. The news gets out locally that this is happening 2 days later on Friday. Then over that weekend, the Canadians get going on this. The head of the Green Party in British Columbia announces a boycott of that billionaire, of all the companies owned or operated by that Canadian billionaire, if he goes through with selling this warehouse to become an ICE prison camp in Virginia. That happens over the weekend. Then on Monday, the union that represents workers at one of his grocery stores, they say, basically, yeah, we're with her. You better not sell that warehouse for a Trump prison camp for ICE. By the way, we're your workers at your grocery store. You better listen to us. The day after that, Tuesday, the billionaire's company puts out a kind of milquetoast, everybody calm down statement that basically just says, we understand that this is something people feel really strongly about. Thanks for your concern. But basically, the upshot of it is we're still moving ahead with this thing. That's Tuesday. Following day, Wednesday, a big outdoor advertising company that does tons of business with that billionaire's company, advertising company called Point Blank. They send the billionaire a letter saying, hey, if you help ICE build a freaking prison camp in America, in Virginia, we're never doing any business with any of your companies ever again. Well, that night, back in Virginia, back in Hanover County, there's a Board of Supervisors meeting. When they first got those local news reports that this prison camp was coming to town, that ICE wanted to build a prison camp there, those local news reports had mentioned that the local Board of Supervisors was, quote, set to consider the proposal and potential next steps at its next regularly scheduled meeting on Wednesday, January 28th, weather permitting. Well, as of Wednesday, January 28th, weather was not permitting. It was absolutely freezing, snow everywhere. The roads were completely covered in ice. Nevertheless, the local Board of Supervisors in Hanover County, Virginia, met that night, Wednesday, and the place was absolutely packed with locals. The public comment period at the Board of Supervisors meeting went on and on and on for hours. And nobody was allowed to speak at that public comment period unless they were from Hanover County. And again, this is a Trump plus 26 county. But basically, the whole community turned up on this icy, cold, snowy, dangerous night to tell the Board of Supervisors there exactly what they thought. There were so many people there in the cold and the snow that once the room was full, people queued up outside despite the weather. They knew they wouldn't get in. They were told they wouldn't get in. They said they weren't leaving. They were staying. They had to say their piece. And then this happened.
Dr. Gundry, can age spots be removed?
Absolutely.
The common mistake is thinking that you can remove them by retinol treatments. Sure, you can diminish that look, but you're not actually.
Hey there, Indivisible, Virginia. We're here outside the Hanover Board of Supervisors meeting. You can see people turned out hugely. They are cheering and excited right now because the rumor is that they just voted it down. I'm going to see if I can get confirmation if that is what has actually happened. People, there was chanting, this is what democracy looks like. This looks awesome. So I think this looking... Do you know why people are excited?
They just announced proposal rejected, and everyone screamed.
So that is it. So these wonderful patriots have defeated the concentration camp. We're not leaving. We're not leaving.
Saying, we're not leaving. We're not leaving. The cheers that go up when they hear the result of what happened inside. The Board of Supervisors in deep, deep red Hanover County, Virginia, said no that night. With all those people packing the meeting, with all those people outside, they said, we do not want a Trump prison camp here. In the statement that the board put out saying that they oppose this prison camp being sited in their county, they called on their state representatives in state government. They called on their federal delegation in Congress to please help them to 500,000 square foot warehouse in Ashland in Hanover County, Virginia. His company put out a very simple one-line statement. It says, quote, the transaction to sell our industrial building in Ashland, Virginia will not be proceeding. Will not be proceeding. Done. Let's go to another